Hi guys, welcome back and hello if you are new. So it's something a little bit different today, less sort of regimented, I guess, as you're probably used to from me. Basically, I was very fortunate to be invited to a listening session of Stephen Wilson's brand new album, The Harmony Codex. This wasn't really like a standard listening session. This is something completely different and something I've never experienced before. I would say the closest thing I would equate it to was when I saw when I attended the Dolby Atmos playback of Porcupine Tree's Closure Continuation. So the event was held at L Acoustics, and the sound system that we listened to this on was like, I think it was between something like 300 and 500 grand. So this is really top-notch kind of stuff. And I guess I'll start with the album first. I mean, the album is, the new Stephen Wilson offering. It was literally announced, I think, the day before, and released the single Economies of Scale, which I really enjoyed. I was quite interested to see where Stephen was going to go, especially because he is such a, unpredictable person. And the album is a lot longer than the Future Bites. It's 65 minutes long, 10 tracks. And there's a bit of everything in here. Like, there's stuff from kind of early Porcupine Tree era, mid Porcupine Tree, sort of, Fear of a Blank Planet, In Absentia kind of vibes. There's also, I heard sort of like elements of Hand Cannot Raise in there, definitely some Future Bites, To the Bone, but I really, would definitely say that this is the best record, I think, since Hand Cannot Erase, and that is a big time favourite for me. There was about 25 of us, I would say, in the room, and Stephen came in and he sort of said a couple of words, basically talking about how he likes to experience music and how he used to listen to albums when he was a kid. And I thought it was really cool because it reminded me of the first time I ever listened to Deloused in the Comatorium by the Mars Volta. There's something about listening to an album in the dark where all of your other senses are kind of, taken away from you. And it really does stay with you, but like in a totally different way as well. So I kind of had an idea of what to expect, but then, after his little introduction, and we also had a really cool sort of talking through of the sound system. And I'm not exactly like a massive sound nerd. You could look around the room and there was just speakers pretty much everywhere, either on the walls or at the bottom. It's been absolutely mad. So it's 18.1.12. That is kind of the sort of level of, this is presented in. And this album was actually mixed specifically for this L Acoustics experience. And it's unlike anything I've ever heard. I know I'm a massive Stephen Wilson confessed fanboy, but just from a musical experience kind of standpoint, it was just so, I don't know, it was really actually quite hard to put into words. And when the lights all came up, you could see everyone was kind of trying to struggle with what had actually just kind of gone on and how to sort of interpret it. And, I'll be honest, I was kind of worried about falling asleep because it was in the dark, but there was just no second of this record was wasted. And because of the way that it was mixed, it was literally the sounds were just flying over your head or just moving around the room. And there was, a couple of tracks on there. I think it's called the Harmony Codex itself, which is kind of like a Vangelis kind of vibe. And it just sort of swoops around you and just builds and builds and builds. But then you've got Impossible Tightrope and stuff, which I know is coming out very soon, which is more kind of, of the raveny kind of proggy sort of side. But the biggest thing for me, I thought, was that this record is probably the most cinematic release of Stephen's, and I think is almost designed to be experienced, not necessarily just kind of listened to. And I've read a really cool interview with NME where he was talking about, with this album, he wants to kind of do sort of residencies. And I thought that was really cool, because not only is it going to be smaller venues and you're going to be, you know, interacting with the crowd even more, but it's so much more of a memorable experience. Honestly, it was a total delight. It was like, such an amazing experience, and I don't think I'll ever really kind of hear the album in the same way again. But because I have, I'll never see it in anything other than that, which I kind of really, really like. And that's, for me, something that makes an album really, really, really special. There's just something really, really interesting and really exciting about the Harmony Codex. I'm really excited for all of you guys to hear it. I love also the fact that, you know, he's basically given you a month from announcing the record to it being in your hand. So there's not going to be too long. You know, I haven't got a promo copy. I listened to it just this once, and I'm almost tempted to not even, you know, try and get a promo copy just so that I can experience it again, you know, because like in today, I feel like so many people listen to stuff, myself included, you know, on Spotify, that you forget about that experience where you are just sat down in your bedroom. And that's how I used to listen to music, you know, when kind of like you had the time for it and you can carve that time out. And so, you know, that sort of experience was really amazing. And it was great. You know, there was a really interesting room full of people. Nick Beggs was there. Stephen obviously was there. Jim Newstead, my new pal. You should check out his video on this, and also his channel as well. He's a really, really lovely, lovely fella, and I'm really glad I met him. But the album itself, honestly, I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for everyone to hear it. There was bits of metal, jazz, acoustic, funk, weird kind of like sort of ambient, a bit of droniness kind of thing, but then so many different elements of Stephen Wilson's career. And I think, you know, if you are surprised by this album, you should be, because that's what he's the best at. You know, you never really know what you're going to get until it's there. So thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments underneath me, and as ever, it would be amazing if you could hit that like and subscribe button. Other than that, I will see you guys very, very soon for more album reviews, interviews, and all sorts of nonsense that I'm talking on YouTube. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon.